Emotions are not problems to be fixed. They are experiences to be acknowledged and understood. Oh my gosh, shout out to Dr. Becky Kennedy for this quote. I freaking agree with you, Dr. Kennedy. Use the real one for that one. Um, and collective, I feel like you understand how emotions work. And this is what makes you so relatable to people, right? This is why people orbit around you all the time. Because you're the type of person that knows emotions or feelings that should be expressed and released. So you're a very expressive person, collective. You could be a very flamboyant, very flashy person, you love to express yourself, and it shows through how you dress. You might dress very eccentric or eclectic or, not your average. You might express yourself through, your tattoos or just how you talk, anything that you do, and like you have this uniqueness about you, right? And people would know, like, okay, that's you. Yeah, that's collective. We know that that would be collective, or that's something collective would wear, or that's something collective would say, right? You have this like niche type of personality. And I feel like you're somebody also who is so deeply in tune with their own emotions. Like you're somebody who feels other people's emotions so intensely and sensitively, and you are also so in tune with your emotions. You might have been somebody who in the past would get very moody or emotional, maybe even to this day. Like if you watch like a sad movie or something dramatic, like you get really emotional, like you could cry really easily, and you just feel your feelings deeply and very easily, collective. And you're not ashamed to express that. And you might have even been somebody who used to wear your heart on the sleeve in the past, and you've understood where that got you, how far that got you, and you really tightened up with that. You don't really wear your heart on your sleeve anymore because you understand that risk that it comes with, and you even dealt with people who would you know play with your heart because you had your heart on you were your emotions on your sleeve. You show people your cards, and then they could play with you in your emotions a lot of the times. And a lot of the times you weren't even aware that you were giving people your hand. This is just you being an open book, being expressive, and you would share with people how you felt all the time. You would overshare, and sometimes this would bite you in the butt, because you had secret people. Maybe this is you sharing your plans to somebody in your family, or just being emotional, like letting them know what upset you or what went wrong or what frustrated you. And then here they go behind the scenes plotting on how to keep you in that state of emotion. Now that they know what gets you ticked off, or now they know what gets you upset, or now that they know what gets you sad, next time you make them mad, or next time you get them in a mood, now they're going to play with you, right? And this is what has been happening. And so you realize, wait a minute, my emotions are all over the place. And you would, like, your emotions were so wild, collective, in the past. Like, and I feel like you used to have anger issues too. You know what I'm saying? You really worked on yourself, like, really, because I'm telling you, you used to be an emotional wreck. Like, and people could really push your buttons and make you feel sad or make you feel upset and angry. And you would always need to, like, um, clap back at people. You really did. Like, you felt that need. You always had the urge to clap back at somebody if they tried to get disrespectful or if they tried to come up against you, right? And um, you just you felt so easily, and you that's why you have a big heart as well, is because, and this is why you attract a lot of people, because you're in tune with emotions. So when somebody's having a good day. You know when somebody needs, like, you can look at somebody and see if they need, like, some words of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Or um, if they're having a bad day and you want to make their day. Or if they're like, you could just read people, right? So you know how to fit in where you need to, help other people feel good about themselves, and this is a good thing, collective, because a lot of people don't know how to um, regulate their emotions, right? They think by holding back. They think by suppressing emotions means that that's what makes them strong. They think that that's what makes them the girl or the guy. When really that makes you weak when you are holding back emotions, when you don't express. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's this stereotype that if you're a crier, that's weak, but no, I feel like that's strength because you are able to acknowledge, and it's also emotional intelligence because you're able to acknowledge your feelings, and then those tears are the energy releasing. So it's actually therapeutic to cry. That's the physical manifestation of your pain being released. I used to cry all the time. There was a point in my life, like I think the year 2016, every day after work, I would go to by the river and cry my eyes out every single day because I was so depressed. I didn't love myself. I didn't like my life. I didn't feel, you know what I'm saying? So I would, in private, by myself, play music and go to by the river every single day and just cry, 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 and cry and cry. I tell people all the time, cry it out, cry it out. Release, release, release. Emotions are about experiencing them. Just like this quote said, your emotions aren't problems. So when you're upset, it's not the fact that you're upset. It's why you're upset. That's the issue. What is causing you to be upset? That's not the fact, there's nothing wrong with you being upset. You need to be upset because it's your body's signal to you, letting you know, hey, something's wrong, something's not right, it needs to be fixed. So anger is a proper emotion that needs to be expressed, right? You're emotionally intelligent, collective, so you know when to use your emotions, when they need to be expressed, when they need to be restrained, when they need to just be limited. Like, you really understand your emotions now, collective. There's a time and a place for every emotion, and you understand this, right? And this is why you are so relatable to people, because you don't, like, when people are upset or they're having a bad day, it's not like you're turned off by it anymore, or it's not like they affect you to where you're having a bad day. You're going to affect them in a great way. You're going to make sure, you're going to try to make their day better in a certain way. Like, you're not going to, if they're having a bad day and they're complaining, well, you're not going to try to ignite more flame by telling them stop complaining. No, you're going to try to soften the blow. Maybe say something encouraging, or maybe just be a listening ear, not say anything at all. Like, you really know how to talk to people to get them to feel heard and feel important and feel loved and feel respected, right? And you bring out emotions in people that, they don't even know. There be emotions hidden inside that you bring up inside of people, collective, because of how tapped in and tuned you are with people's emotions and yourself. So people will get around you and they'll be acting a whole complete different person than they might around somebody that they're used to being around, right? People are more comfortable in your presence than a lot of people that they know, right, collective? Because you come with this open heart and you have this energy about you that's very calming and sensual, right? And your emotions are all in balance, and people can feel that. Some people even come up against you and try to test your emotions, like, oh, let's see how stable they really are. Let's see how peaceful they really are, right? Let's see how happy they really are. So you deal with those people too, who try to test your patience, try to, push your buttons, try to annoy you, make things difficult. You deal with those people, but that's water under a bridge to you now. You know what I'm saying? You understand that those tactics. So you don't even play into those anymore, collective. But I'm so proud of you, collective, because it takes a lot to acknowledge your emotions, right? And then also not only to acknowledge them, but to express them and to release them. Like, you don't sit in anger anymore. You used to be somebody who used to be upset all day, every day, for a few days, a week, a month, a year. Depressed, sad, this, and you don't do that anymore, collective. You don't allow your emotions to rule your life like that. You're going to be copacetic and cool and chill and at peace on any given day, on any given hour, at any given circumstance nowadays, right, collective? Because you took power back over yourself, and you're not just going to be dragged along by your emotions, right? You're not going to let one little limited incident ruin your whole day. You're not going to let one little circumstance or one little interaction with someone ruin your whole day. You're not going to let that affect your mood anymore, right? This is you now, collective. And this is why this is making you so attractive. But you've done the work, collective, and we need poor people like you because you're going to help show other people how to regulate their emotions, right? You're going to show other people that emotions are an experience and you should express them, okay? Too many people are holding back emotions. Too many people are holding things in and they're stressing themselves out. You know what I'm saying? And it's frustrating them and they're getting angry and emotional. And, people try to downplay being emotional. People try to make it seem like you're weak or you're soft and you have to always be real and you always have to be tough and put on this act like everything is good. No. We need you to crash out sometimes in a therapeutic way, obviously, not in a dangerous or violent way. Like, we don't want you crashing out, attacking people or lashing out, cussing people. No. But you can crash out in a productive way, right? Like, channel that energy into something that you're passionate about. Get creative, get inventive with that energy. Use that raw energy to build something productive, right? You know how to do that. But this is why you've been put in this position now, collective, because you need to help other people, and you are showing other people how to regulate their emotions and how to express them, and just be okay with being comfortable with who they are. You know what I'm saying? Collective, if this is you, let me know down below in the comments if you resonate any way with this message, and keep doing what you're doing because you are helping the world become a better place. Hey, listen, if this is your first time here and you like what you listen to, make sure you subscribe. I'd love to have you a part of our tribe, okay? And if you're returning, hey, y'all know how we do over here, baby. It's Car. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm signing out. Bye.